So good afternoon, actually, isn't it, everyone? Welcome to the judges' briefing meeting for the 2025 Central Coast Visitor Economy Awards. I'm Zoe Bowes, in case anyone doesn't know me, no one knows me. I'm the events manager at Business New South Wales and the program manager for this new pilot awards program, which I'm super proud of and I can't wait to share with you. And I'm meeting you today on the beautiful lands of the Dark and Young people here on the Central Coast, but pay my respects to the custodians of all the lands that we're meeting on today. So today's session, please ask questions. We're all family here. Raise your hands or just pop it into the chat, which I'll try and monitor as we go through. We've got time for Q&A at the end, and anything I don't get to in this session, I'll come back to you afterwards, but we should be able to cover everything as we go along. And the plan for today, as I said, we're going to do a quick round of hellos and intros so we all get familiar with each other, but we'll all get to know each other really well next Monday anyway, which I'll go into again. I'm really excited to have all our judges together in the room for this. We'll have a quick overview of the awards program, just so you're across it, because it's never been done before. So there are bits and pieces that I would love to share and that you need to know to get you comfy with your role in this as well. Deep dive on judging, so key dates, scoring, how to write great feedback, that really grey area of AI. I don't know if you've heard it, it's a new thing, and how to use the portal. So all of those things you need to do to be comfy in your role, we'll cover in brief. And as always, I'm always here as we go along to answer questions from now up until the end of the judging process, which is the 22nd of July, and then Q&A at the end. Look at this beautiful team. Look at your gorgeous faces. At least you're right. We have a rose between the thorns, or a thorn between the roses. And that's Dylan, the only gentleman on our team who sadly can't be here today. He's been pulled into a work meeting because he does work for Newcastle Airport and they're quite busy at the moment, which I'm sure you're aware. But he'll be in the room with us next Monday. So I might start with you, lovely Alana, just to do a quick hello before we go around the houses.
Sure. Hello, I'm from Milestone Creative. So I'm 30 years in marketing, events and tourism. Milestone is now 17 years down the track. We're a team of 10 and we are event marketing and tourism specialists. So we're a creative agency essentially for the sector. That's me. Thanks.
Thank you, my love. It's so gorgeous to have you on the team. Christy is an apology, as you know, but all of your bios, again, will be shared in the events booklet that we have sharing with our guests on the night as well, just so you know. So we'll give you a bit of coverage and shout loudly and proudly about you. So Dylan and Elaine can't be with us today, which leaves Jackie next on our list.
Hi everyone, I'm from Sparley Group. We're a consultancy and we work across the visitor economy, economic development, community development and workforce development across Australia. And then I also lead the training division of our business. So we work a lot with small business tourism operators around that. Yeah, that's me.
Thank you, my love. And you're a powerhouse judge. I've had the pleasure of working with Jackie before on the North Coast Tourism Awards. So she just had to be on this team. I adore the way that you write feedback. And it's a pleasure to work with you. And lovely Letitia, you're up next, my love.
Hi, I'm Leticia and my husband and I own Kicking Pixels and My Web Advantage. They're both web design businesses, and we've also got Gatheroo, which is a SaaS product that we created just on the back of the need that we had, and yeah, so we're based in Erina.
Thank you, my sweet. You're definitely our online digital web guru, so it's really nice to have that expertise on the team. Thank you. And Lisa, I'm so glad that you have your pink hair still. Life wouldn't be the same without it.
Yeah, I'm never going back, that's for sure. I decided on the pink, I think after about 15 years, it took me to finally do it, never changing. I'm going to be an 80-year-old with pink hair.
Good.
So I am Lisa. I have a very diverse background on it from agencies, predominantly in Sydney for global and local brands. In the travel sector in particular, I have experience with as a marketing director of Crown Plaza, Hunter Valley, which is now Ridges, switched brands. And Visit California, which was an interesting brand to sort of work with, creating demand for that market. Now, of course, that's sort of my background, but now I run my own business called The Marketing Mentor. It's exactly what it says. I mentor across people in business and individuals looking to sort of up their game in marketing. Having the experience I have, it's very broad, so it brings a lot of benefit to people who sometimes are a little bit lost. Love what I do. So lovely to meet you all.
Thank you so much, my love. And again, it's a joy to have you on this team. I've been dying to get you onto one of my judging teams for ages. So thank you for making the time. And last but not least is Ms. Tash from Coasties Magazine. And those on the coast, if you don't know Tash, then you've been living under a rock. So please say good day to everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Afternoon now. Geez, the days just disappeared.
I
Hi,
know.
everyone. I'm Tash, as Zoe already introduced me. I'm Tash from Coasties Mag. There's not much more to say. I work with lots of small businesses here on the coast on a marketing side of things as well. I do that on the side, but also through Coasties Mag, where we support small businesses in our region.
Thank you, my love. So this is our team. And as I said, we're all together amazingly on Monday night. So you'll all be sitting on a table together and you'll all get to know each other really well after this. And it's an honour to have you and your expertise joining this program. So thank you again for making time, and it's personal time. I'm really aware of it. So our humble thanks and gratitude. Awards program. I just wanted to start with a few slides about why we're doing this, because yes, it is another awards program. I'm very aware of that. And the market is quite saturated with them at the moment. So when we were creating this program, we were speaking to a need of addressing the lack of regional tourism programs in New South Wales. But also we wanted to design a program that was part awards program, where you get that nice trophy at the end, and part business development tool. And we had this really rare and beautiful opportunity to do something different. We got some investment from our local chambers and they said, write a program. And we were able to really throw out the rule book for this. So we approached it with the mindset of connection, collaboration, and community. So everything we do to make our businesses better makes us better and stronger as a region. And I love this stat. A 1% increase in awareness is a 1% increase in future sales. And this is what we had in the back of our heads as we went along writing this program and this format. And this stat I love as well, because tourism is a cornerstone of everything that we do. It's a touch point. It has a halo ripple effect on our communities. And again, if we make our businesses better in this space, it will make us better as a community and better as a region. And in the year ending 2024, in 2024, regional New South Wales was the best performing destination across regional Australia, with almost $26.2 billion flowing through our state. And that's forecast to increase over the next 5 years to 120 billion. So there is no better time to shine a light on what our regional communities are doing, what our regional businesses are doing. And there is no better time to help them be better. And awards programs like this are exactly what it will take to shine a spotlight on what we do, to increase awareness of the wonderful things and experiences that we have to offer here on the coast. And we have a view to roll this program out across the state from next year onwards. But this is not just an awards program, it's a business development tool. And this is where I'll touch on how we've done things differently. So it's not just submitting an entry and getting a trophy at the end. There are a few key steps that make this a little bit different. And who doesn't like an overview that starts with a saucy teaser? So this one is and this is the big highlight of the awards program. We're doing an awards program with no written entries. And I know that some of you are across this because we've spoken about it. But for those who don't know exactly what we're doing, we are not asking people to write and submit an entry in a portal. We're asking our entrants to get up on stage and present their answers to their questions in front of a room of judges, peers, community, media. It's exciting and it's been so well embraced. And I didn't know how people were going to take this when we first launched it, because we are asking a lot of people. We're asking them to step away from their keyboards and their laptops and be front and center and present and public speak. And that is terrifying. And even though I'm asking my finalists to do it, I wouldn't do it myself. But it's just been the most rewarding, emotional, heart bucket filling awards program I've had the joy of being a part of in my career to date. And I hope that you will see that at the Regional Showcase Day next Monday. Getting people to speak their stories has just been revolutionary and groundbreaking. So as I said, no written and personal entries in a portal. We're bringing everyone together from the start. So I'll get to our mentoring program, because the one thing we're really conscious of is we're asking people to present. We need to give them the tools to do that well. But that also means that we're together from the start. So again, with traditional awards programs, everyone does everything in isolation, and then you only come together at the very end for the awards ceremony, and then it's only the person who wins the award that gets on stage to share their story. This program, everyone is together from the start, from the mentoring program right through to the rehearsal sessions, right through to the regional showcase day, which is where they all get together to present their award submissions. Everyone's story is heard. Everyone has that spotlight shone on them. And I just wanted to take you through the mentoring program that our finalists have been a part of. It's been 7 weeks. It's been intense. It's been a big investment on our behalf, but a necessary one. And again, this is part of the business development tool that we really wanted to write into this awards program. So they had 4 weeks of entry writing masterclasses where they had one-on-one coaching with a marketing mentor, and that was Laura Prale from LEP Digital. So how to craft your story, how to write a really good submission, how to speak about your business well on paper. They had the option to submit draft reviews where they answered their questions, they submitted it to a draft review judge who came back with feedback. And then they had 3 full days of, or 3 3-hour sessions of pitch and presentation coaching, which is where they got comfy with the stage, they got comfy public speaking. They had tips and tricks from our incredible mentor, Steve Allen, who will also be there on the night as our MC actually next Monday, to get them as comfy as possible, because it's not just about telling your story well on paper, it's how you speak it as well. And these are skills that they'll be able to take through with them long after the awards program is done, which is again a really key component of what makes this program really special. And this week, I've actually just finished yesterday their presentation rehearsal. So we got everyone into the venue, into Drifters Wharf, Monday, Tuesday this week, and we got them all up on stage and did a full dress rehearsal. So everyone went through their presentations with the content behind them to get them comfy on stage, keep them to time, so they know what they're doing and they present well, because this is all about putting your best foot forward. Award categories. We've got 12 categories this year, which is incredible. And it means that you'll have between 8 to 10 entries each. So we had 55 entries, and we've come out with 34 finalists after the first round of judging was completed. So we have 34 finalists across all 12 categories, and there are these categories have been written a little differently. So they're written with a Google search in mind. So rather than a category that's excellence and I can see you nodding there, Lisa, yes. They've been written with a marketing mindset, rather than a category that says excellence in accommodation. We've got a category that's excellence in luxury escapes, because we want you, when you win this category, to bump up your Google rating. So when tourists and visitors and travelers type in what is the best luxury escape on the Central Coast, you're going to factor into that Google search now because you've won that category. It does what it says on the tin. Outstanding festival event, food experience, beverage experience, all the really key touch points about what travelers are looking for when they visit a region. We've kind of covered those bases, hopefully. And again, this is a pilot program. So these are our test categories. We will always review and do a wash up at the end about what worked and what didn't. And we did have 16 categories in the first mix, and 4 of them weren't taken up, but these are the ones that really stuck with our entrants. And the other thing that I love is that we've got a People's Choice Award. So on the night at the Regional Showcase Day, we'll be asking everyone in the room to vote anonymously through our awards app that we'll have, and I'll be sending a link out to you soon for their People's Choice. So there's a judging vote or a judge's award, and then there's a People's Choice Award, which I really like. I might just take a quick pause there and see if anyone has any questions before I keep going. No, we're good.
I'll just say, like, the reason I was nodding my head furiously is, like, people put so much effort and work into these submissions even before they get to the winning side, that, like, I love that it's baked in. You've kind of got SEO and Google searches baked into the categories, because even if they don't win and they don't walk away with the trophy, they've got something very usable for their business and their brand to help them with those searches moving forward. So I just wanted to more so comment and say I love that.
I love that you say that, and I'm going to use that. Actually, they've got SEO baked into their category. Yeah. I love that, because I never say it well, but you got what I was trying to get across, right? So thank you for that, and I love that you appreciate that, because that was something that I was very conscious about. How do we make ourselves different, and how do we make this rewarding for everyone, not just the winners? So yeah, thank you for flagging that. I thought it was a good move.
Yeah.
If it was a terrible idea, then it wasn't mine. It was a team effort, but I'll claim that one. So the Regional Showcase Day, this is the final stage of the Visitor Economy Awards program. So this is not where we announce winners. This is, again, where all of our finalists get up on stage and share their stories. So it's going to be a real celebration, and we're going to have a really good time. There'll be a sit-down meal, there'll be drinks, we'll have a little Taste the Region pop-up with some of our local legends. So we'll have Six Strings and Hawkesbury Brewing and Fires Creek Winery and Spoon Bay Gelato and Little Creek Cheese and the Mulled Wine Co. all in the room, so you can get up close and personal and taste and sample and enjoy. We'll have some beautiful goodies on the tables. Trying to get some nice oysters into the room from Broken Bay as well. Watch this space, and then we'll go into the presentation. So Tourism Australia will open the night with a little the future of tourism keynote and what it means for our region, and then we'll get into the awards presentations. I will also say you will be there as judges, but you won't be working that night. This is just for you to enjoy, absorb, soak up, and celebrate as a community together. And when you hear these stories, some of them, oh my gosh, I haven't cried so much as I have over the past 2 days, because some of these stories will just move you. And I'm so honoured that everyone has been brave enough to take to the stage to share them. It's been a huge journey. Oh, I'm getting emotional speaking about it now. So I hope that comes through on the night. And I'm so glad that you'll be there to share it with everyone. And this is the program. So on the night, all of our finalists have 4 minutes to answer 4 key questions, which doesn't sound like a lot of time, and it's not, but it means they really have to drive down to what makes them unique, what makes them stand out. It's all killer, no filler. And we've spent a lot of time refining their answers to these questions to get it within those 4 minutes. And it doesn't sound like it can be done, but when you really put your mind to it, it means you come out with really, really high quality content that answers the questions beautifully. So it's their story, marketing promotion, so how they attract and engage their audience, customer experience, how do they deliver outstanding service and satisfaction, how are they inclusive, how do they innovate, and then it's the last question is responsible tourism and community impact. So how are they ethical, sustainable? How do they give back to their community? All of these things. And this is just a top line overview of what we're asking of them. Again, you'll have a full judges briefing pack with how we've asked them to answer their questions in full and judging guidelines around what a good answer looks like. But this is just a top line to keep in mind on Monday when you listen to their answers. Every answer will be in the same format. They'll start with their story, then they'll go to marketing promotion, customer experience, and then responsible tourism and community impact. And this is the promise that we made to our finalists, that at the end of this journey, their story will be heard, their achievements will be celebrated, and they'll walk away with skills, insights, connections that will last well beyond the awards program. And this is what we kept in mind the whole way through when we were writing this program. We want this to have a lasting impact well past that gala awards date where one business walks away with the trophy. We want everyone to be seen and heard. And that's why I'm so thrilled to have you all on this judging team, because your feedback and your insights about what they've done well and what they could do better as part of this judging process will be so invaluable to the quality and the standard of their businesses moving forward. At the end of the program, so we've only got 3 key dates, which is great. Judging opens 8th of July, so the week after the regional showcase day. And this is to allow, normally we'd open judging almost straight away, but because this format is a little bit different, because they're speaking their words and not writing them, we need time to package up their presentations. So all presentations on the night of the regional showcase will be filmed, and then they'll be loaded into the portal for you to be able to watch at a time that suits you. So judging will be done independently from the 8th of July to the 22nd of July. If I'm completely honest, I've not used our awards portal for video submissions, so I've also built in a little bit of time to work out if we can actually do it through our awards portal, which I'm told we can. But I'll just need to work with our production and our tech team to make sure it does work. So I might need to revise how I'm asking you to use the portal going forward. But if it all goes swimmingly, it will just be a straightforward thing that a lot of our judges who've used the portal before will know how to do. And then we get together on the 12th of September for the awards. Oh, so excited. And we're going to do a combo because we were due to have the regional showcase day on the 30th of May, but we made the decision to postpone because of the weather. The weather events really affected a lot of our community, especially some of the tourism businesses in our program. They were pretty devastated and they lost a lot. So we didn't feel as though it was a cool thing to come together celebrating when they were all in survival and recovery mode. And some of them still are that way. And because of this delay, it means that our awards ceremony is kind of happening at the same time as our business awards gala. So we made the decision to combine the two. So Visitor Economy Awards winners will be announced alongside Business Awards winners on the 12th of September. And black tie, so get your frocks dusted off. All right. This is the bit where I need to be a little bit serious and almost read it word by word. Past judges know all about confidentiality and how important it is. The biggest part of what we're asking of you when you get your categories and your finalist names, conflict of interest. Please flag it even if you think it's a really small issue. Just have a conversation with me about it, and the sooner the better. If possible. And conflicts of interest can be where you have a direct member of your family or friends involved in the operation of the business, where you have a financial interest in the business, if you're a competitor, even past or present, if you have a direct working relationship you've been a mentor to them or any of the entrants, and if you have entered into any category in the awards program yourself, which you haven't. And I will share this slide deck with you afterwards. And again, you'll have all of these guidelines in your judging handbook, judge's handbook, I should say. But we're really looking for submissions. And again, I'll get into this in a second with the how to write great feedback deep dive. But again, you've all done these, you've all done judging over the years. So I'm not going to make this super painful, but this is just more of a reminder. We want that mix of qualitative and quantitative information on the page. So they can tell us they're the best business in the world, but they need to have the stats and the data to back that up and have that balanced entry, all that balance to their writing. So this is kind of different actually, because written in a human voice is presented in a human voice. So pictures and photos, they're allowed to have content on the screen behind them. What we've asked them not to do is have bullet points about how they're answering the questions. We want them to speak their answers, not display it behind them and just stand like a PowerPoint presentation as I'm doing now and run through the bullet points. We want to make sure that they answer the questions in full, which they have, which is great because they're presenting and not writing. And again, this is all part of the mentoring process they've been through. Are they answering every question properly? And they've submitted to a draft review judge who's kept them on track with that process as well. And really importantly, if you're based on the coast, which a lot of our judges are, you will know most of the businesses in this program. What we're asking you to do is score based on the quality of their answers in their entry, not on what you know, not on what you have seen, read, have experience of, or have heard from others. Only judge how well they've answered the question in front of you. Remember that your feedback is a comment on the information in the submission and not a comment on the overall business activities, which I just touched on. Again, it's all about what you're seeing and hearing, and how well they've answered those questions. And feedback should always be expressed in a positive way. I know that none of you would do that or be overly negative, but it's a really important fact or point of writing good feedback, that there is a person behind every entry, there's a person behind every business, there's a person behind every submission. So write to them. And this is just an example of how to write good feedback. So we don't want you to talk at them. The entrant has demonstrated we would like you to talk to them or with them. It's good you've demonstrated your target markets. However, what was missing? And don't give a summary of their response in the answer to your, in the feedback that you're delivering to them. So things that we'd love not to see, the judge's response. And again, none of you are going to do this. So I'm sorry that I'm telling you to suck eggs with this feedback, how to write good feedback deep dive, but don't write great answer, write good answer, but this is where you could improve, where you could enhance your submission would be. I would like a bit more detail with this. What more detail would you like to have seen? Product seems great, but there is scope for some questions to be more thoroughly responded to. In what way? So these are just examples of what an entrant might think when they receive their feedback, and all entrants will get their feedback after the gala ceremony on the 12th of September. Don't leave them wanting more. If you're going to give advice, make it thorough and make it complete. So something like meets criteria, more initiatives required to gain higher points. What initiatives? What could they do to enhance their submission? Easy to read and understand. I have had that a few times lately. Again, I know this is personal time that you're using, but please take the time to give them feedback that they can use to enhance, to better, to improve. Not just their submissions or their entries, but their business. And this is feedback that we absolutely would not like to see on a page when we go through and present it back to our finalists. Didn't like the image you provided. Your information was hard to read. You need to think more about how you support your answer. This is a weak response. And this is an example of feedback we would love to see. Great information. So you start with a positive affirmation. Well done on this. What would be good to see is that to strengthen your response, to enhance your entry, this is what we like to think about it. But some great things are achieved, and I particularly liked. More examples, which I'm not going to take you through because you know what you're doing. But it's all about starting with that constructive, positive opening, and then some constructive feedback, and then finishing with a, you've done great, but to enhance, we'd like to see next time. And this is where we're kind of aligned with other awards programs. So it will be 80% scoring based on their presentations. So there are 4 questions, and each question has a 20% weighting, and that will be done behind the scenes. You will score out of 10, which is confusing, but we have a lovely little algorithm behind the scenes that will round it up to 20% per question. And then we have an online review part of this process. So this is where we look at, is their website SEO optimized? Do they engage with and promote the local community through their social media on their website? Do they have call to action? Is their website easy to use? All of these digital online webby things we'll be looking at, as well as their socials. And that process will be done separately. By a separate team behind the scenes. So your job is just to look at and score the presentation, so how well they answer those 4 questions in their categories. Did anyone have any questions before I move forward? Because I realise I'm doing a lot of talking at you. All good? Does that make sense to everyone so far? And you can nod it, yep. And this will be part of your packs. And I really, really recommend that you print this out and have this next to you, that old-fashioned thing of printing stuff, not very eco-friendly. But it's a great thing to make sure that we're judging consistently across the board between different industry experts, different judges, different mind frames, different mindsets. It really helps to make sure that we have a level playing field when it comes to scoring. So if you think that an entry meets minimum requirements, you'll give them between 3 to 4. If you think it's above, you'll give them 7 to 8. I've never experienced a lot of 10s in my time, because that's the ultimate score. But if you feel like an entry deserves a 10 across the board, have a chat to me about it first. But it doesn't mean that you're doing the wrong thing. If it really is that exceptional, we can talk about giving them a 10. And this is the lovely awards portal, which may or may not work for video submissions. So this is the TBC, but if it does, this is what it will look like. It's a super, and I know, Jackie, you've used it before. Christine's used it before. Tash, you've used it before. It's super intuitive and really easy. It's a step-by-step. So you'll have your category, you'll click on your category, and within that category, you'll have your finalists. Click on the finalist and then just move through the process. As you go, click save and next. Make sure you click save and next. And this is what it will look like. And again, this is an example of what a written submission would look like on screen. I am still trying to work out how that will look when it's a video entry. But I think what I might do is have the written answers to their question alongside their presentation. But again, bear with me on this one until I have those videos in hand and work out how to make them work with the portal. I can't really answer that yet, but all going well, this is what it will look like. And then you score out of 10, you provide your feedback, you click save and next until you get to the very end. Save and next. And done. And then on the right-hand side, you can see that you've completed. So all I ask is when you go back and you feel like you've completed all of your entries and you're all done and tickety-boo, just make sure that everything says complete next to it, because sometimes we've had occasions where you think you've finished and you've clicked out of it, but you haven't clicked that save and submit or save and complete. And this is our tricky topic of the day, AI. And this is, again, another reason why we wanted to do the awards this way, because it kind of creates that even playing field where everyone's going to use AI to structure at least their submission. I use it regularly every day. I think everyone online in the room today does as well. So we can't ask people not to use it. It's a time-saving tool. And again, awards programs are a huge impost on time. So if it helps you structure your response, great. But when you have to speak it, you have to put that human element back into it, which is what we love. And it means that you can't use a professional to present your answers. You can't use AI to speak them. It has to come from your mouth and your words. In your words, sorry. So we've already done the spotting for you, and we've already weeded out those answers and presentations that have been fully written by AI when we went through the draft review process. So we refined presentations from there. If on the day we feel like someone has a purely AI generated submission or presentation still, we'll have a chat about it, but I'm fairly confident, because I've seen everyone and what they're presenting, that this isn't going to be the case. So the other part, and the third and final part, is what we'd love you to do yourselves. Again, this is your personal time that you're using, and if you would like to take your words and put them into perhaps a more succinct or concise overview or feedback paragraph, that's fine. But what we don't want you to do is load any entrant's personal information or submission or story into ChatGPT and get it to do it purely for you. And that's something I would like you to be really mindful of, because I use ChatGPT all the time. But just don't load anyone's personal information and data into the program. Have a crack at writing it first, and if you need to refine it or structure it, go for it, because we're time poor and we're taking up your time. So I don't want to make yourself combust by adding any more to your plate than I already have. And that's it. That was a deep dive whirlwind. So before I go around the houses, how do you feel about this new program? Do you like the sound of it?
I think
Yes.
it's exciting. I mean, I think it's good.
Yeah,
I
Thank
think
you, Miss Jackie.
anyone who's judged before, and especially like the last few awards that I've done, like AI was written in every single answer that I read. I got to the stage where I was just like numb from it. This is going to be so much more interactive and fun, and this actual judging panel looks so much fun. I'm actually nervous about the nights we've got coming ahead, but I think it's going to be this is really cool what you've done, Zoe. Good work.
Oh,
Great.
thanks, Tash. I really appreciate it, because it is we're asking a lot of our finalists, and again, this is a program that's never been done. So for us to have 35 finalists embracing this journey and spending the time, committing the time outside their businesses on this journey, and then being brave enough to get up on stage and speak their story is huge. And we've got some people who are one of our finalists was in a coma for 6 months and had to learn to walk and talk again, and they're getting up on stage and speaking. So it's kind of all these little stories of resilience and innovation and survival and excellence that we might not get to hear from these little businesses in our region. And I think even though if you live in the region, you'll be really surprised by some businesses you see on stage who you might never have heard of, but who really, really deserve to be seen and be recognised. So this is why I'm so proud of this program. And God, I really hope it works on the night. It has so far. But we'll see. But you're right, Tash, you've got a cracking table. You'll all be together, and there'll be lots of lovely things to eat and drink as well, even though it's a Monday night and a school night technically. Alana, I can see you've
I
got
have
your
a
hand up. I love-
question.
Sure.
What happens if someone does really get very nervous and sort of, let's say, vomit, but they don't perform at their best? Do we just take into account there's going to be nerves and all of those things?
Absolutely. And that's a really good question. And I think that's why we were really conscious about supporting them is with this new format. So every single person has had that formal entry writing training, pitch and presentation coaching, and then the rehearsal session. So look, nerves are always going to get in the way, but we've hopefully put in the framework and the guidance and support that doesn't happen. And again, because they've all been in this together, they're all going to support each other next Monday. So it's, even though it's a competition, they're all in it together. And even at the rehearsal sessions yesterday and on Monday, they were all cheering each other on when they took to the stage. So hopefully that means that won't happen. But you're right, and this is a pilot program. So this might be a learning for next year when we do roll it out as to how we address that if it does happen on the night. You're right, but hopefully it doesn't. And everyone has their written submissions as well. So I think now that I'm talking it through that I will also include their written submissions in the portal so that if they don't get the message across properly on stage because of nerves, then at least you have that to refer to make sure they still have a good chance. But that's a really good question.
Cool. And I'll give you a little tool as well. There's a thing called GPT0.me. You can put content into it and it tells you if it's being ChatGPT'd or not. I'll put it in the little chat. I don't know where the chat is in here, but
look at me reaching for a pen. I'm so old.
I wish that I don't know where the chat thingy is. Sorry. Anyway, it's GPT0.me.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Did anyone else have any questions?
I just had another one and just wanted to more confirm more than anything. The score out of 10 is based on like 4 times based on those 4 questions, or is it an overarching score out of 10?
No, so each question has a weighting of 20% overall, but you'll score out of 10. So question 1 will be out of 10, question 2 will be out of 10 and onwards. So you'll be scoring 40 points, but that will translate to 80%. In our little algorithm behind the scenes. So you'll give feedback on each part of their I keep saying written, each part of their spoken entries.
I'll just have a little comment and question, but I think I love it. Like, I love the format. It's fresh. It's content driven. We live in a content driven world, and you're not sort of throwing them in the deep end. You're really guiding them through that process. Like the kind of the support you've given them is fantastic. So I'm really excited to judge on the night. I just think it'll be a joy to judge on top of like sitting there and reading, entry after entry, just more life into it. And that's the way that we consume today. So I just think, congratulations, and I'm excited. My main question was, so you sort of said there's 4 categories and they've got 4 minutes. Is it 1 minute per or 4 minutes per category?
It is 4 minutes overall. Yeah. So it's and the way that they're doing it on Monday, they won't have markers to define the categories. They'll just it will just be a rolling conversation. But you'll know when they start to address, the visitor experience, the marketing and promotions, and the responsible tourism and community impact. It'll be quite obvious as they're speaking through it. So they have 4 minutes in entirety. Whether they want to spend more of that on one section, they can, as long as they answer all of the sections and answer them well. It's up to them as to how they structure or designate the time spent on each section. So it's not going to be 1 minute and then they have to move to the next question, if you know what I mean. Does that answer your question?
It does, yeah. 4 minutes is nice and tight.
I know.
It really forces them to get to the real meat, doesn't it?
Exactly. And it's been really painful, and people are saying, our finalists are saying, it can't be done. It can't be done. But when you work with them to really drill down to the heart of what they do, what makes them unique, and their really key milestones, it's really powerful what they're presenting on the night, and it means that we don't have to stay there until midnight with everyone having a bit of a waffle.
Love it.
Did anyone else have any questions? Do you still have your hand up, Alana, or no? Well, I think
I had one, sorry, Zoe. What if they do go over? What happens if they go over the 4 minutes? Do you just cut them off?
Oh, really good question. And that has been one of the overwhelming ones from all of our finalists. No, there's no wrap-up Oscars style music. There is no big hook that comes out from behind the curtain. Which is why we worked really hard to drill down to the message. Look, people are going to run over on the night. We've put other systems in place so they'll all have feedback monitors in front of them on stage with a timer to keep them aware of their time. I've made the decision to count it up and not to count it down because I feel like that would be a little bit triggering. If you're counting down from 4, and we'll have our MC on stage with them, so he'll be able to prompt them to wrap it up if they're still going over the time, even though they can see that they've hit their limit. But no, we're not going to wrap them up or force them to go up. We've just worked with them beforehand to structure their responses to keep it and practice their responses to keep it within that time frame in the hope that they do on the night. Anyone else? Guys, I'm so excited. We're going to have some fun on Monday night, honestly. And no one's asked what the dress code is. More importantly, I know this is a business meeting.
I was waiting until the right moment, but yeah.
Look, it's not a gala, so it's not dressed up, it's not black tie, but come with something nice. Dust off a nice frock if you can find one. I'm still searching the depths of my closet, but it's honestly, it's smart casual. But if you want to wear something pretty, please do, because it will be a really fun night. Lots of things to eat, lovely things to eat, drink, see, hear, experience, and lots of lovely people to meet. So we'll have Tourism Australia, Destination New South Wales, Airbnb, Take 3 from the Sea, Signature Media. I'm forgetting some other people, I'm sure, in the room. So we'll have lots of lovely outside people coming in too. So it will be a chance to get to know them. We'll have a tourism event app, an event app for the night, sorry, I should say. So you'll be able to see who's in the room and where they're sitting. So if you want to go and say good day to anyone, you'll be able to find them. And it will also list all of your bios and LinkedIn profiles, as I said before. So hopefully everyone, including you and me, will come out with some lovely connections from the occasion. Okay, I think that's me done. Thank you for bearing with my complete whirlwind session. I hope it helped. And again, this will be shared with you afterwards. I'll try and get the judges' handbook out to you next week, along with your categories, so that we can work out if you've got any conflicts of interest before we move forward. But other than that, it should hopefully be smooth sailing. And I can't wait to see all of your beautiful faces on Monday.
Thanks, Zoe.
Thanks,
You're so
Zoe.
welcome.
See you Monday.
Bye.
See you Monday.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.